Good afternoon. My name is Angelique Walters, and I am an educational specialist here. Today, I'll be talking about program integrity and administrative review. Program integrity. Integrity, adherence to moral principles and ethics. Integrity is a regulation of honesty and truthful uprightness and sincerity. Okay, we're going to talk about sponsoring monitoring sites. What is sponsoring monitoring sites? Monitoring is a program requirement. Monitoring is essential to the success of the program. Monitoring is the link between the sponsor and the actual sites. The form displayed on this slide is the form that will be used for monitoring. When monitoring sites, size of the monitoring staff will depend on the size of the program. Monitors must attend sponsors training. Monitors must understand program and civil rights requirements. Sponsor visits and reviews. Site visits ensure the food service operates smoothly and problems are resolved immediately. Site reviews ensure that the program site is meeting all program requirements. The monitor must observe a complete meal service. Sponsor monitoring requirements. A pre-operational visit is required for new sites. It ensures sites have been visited, ensures sites have the capability and the facilities required for the planned meal service. And it also is required, the pre-operational site visit form is required to be completed upon the visit. Sponsor monitoring requirements continue. Sponsoring monitor requirements require that a site is monitored within the first 2 weeks of site visits. New sites with operational problems in the prior year, and any site where the state agency determines a visit is needed must be monitored within the first 2 weeks of operation. For sites that operate for a week or less, the site visit must be conducted during the period of operation. Sponsor monitoring requirements. Site visit must be conducted within the first 4 weeks of operation. Sponsors must conduct a review of the food service at least once in the first 4 weeks of program operation. And the use of a required monitoring site form is required. Sponsor monitoring reports. The monitor must, once they arrive, it must arrive firstly on time and stay the entire meal for the entire meal service. Ensure all questions on the report are answered. Observe that the number of meals delivered and served reconciles with the number of children served. Sponsor monitoring reports. The monitor must also ensure all problem areas are correctly noted in the report, ensure corrective action is noted on reports, and also ensure a time frame for completion and follow-up of noted corrective action is noted in the report. So just to recap on sponsor monitoring reports. Visits. All visits and reviews must be documented. It is up to the sponsor to review any problems, call the site supervisor if necessary, document corrective action taken at the site, schedule a follow-up review if necessary, sign and date the report. Okay, now we're going to discuss sponsor administrative review purpose and process. Reviews ensure financial operations are conducted properly, financial statements and reports are correct, expenditures of program funds comply with federal regulations. Both sponsor and site reviews must be conducted. Administrative review USDA selection process. Sponsors are reviewed every 3 years. Sponsors in the first year of operation are also reviewed. Sponsors with 20 or more sites, 1.5 total program reimbursements for the prior year, and 10% of the sites must be reviewed. Be prepared to be reviewed at any time during program operation. All SFSP reviews are unannounced. Have all documents available for review. Have an individual who can assist the reviewer in the event the highest ranking official is unavailable on the day of the review. Administrative review, sponsor review. continue. Required records that will be reviewed are a copy of permanent agreement and any approved waivers, documentation of training and site monitoring, inventory records, production records, meal count records and menus, documentation of all program costs, income eligibility forms if enrolled site is not using area eligibility, documentation of racial and ethnical data to be completed on the monitoring form, and documentation of media release. Single audit requirements, formerly known as A-133 audit. Governmental or nonprofit entities that expend $750,000 or more in federal awards during its fiscal year period and receive funding from more than one type of federal program must submit an organization-wide A-133 audit. You may submit a program-specific audit and should be submitted as part of the application process. Due to the Alabama State Department of Education, within 30 days after issuance of report or no later than 9 months after the end of the fiscal year. The administrative review report will list each site finding, indicate the finding or findings if they are seriously deficient, indicate corrective action deadline, and identify the responsible person or individual. Administrative review serious deficiency process. Any sponsor declared seriously deficient will have the opportunity for corrective action, and they will also have the opportunity to approve the corrective action. Incomplete corrective action could result in termination agreement by ALSDE. See ALSDE Serious Deficiency Policy handout for additional guidance. Okay, these listed on this slide are common administrative review findings, SD findings, but not limited to non-compliance with procurement or contract for services, submission of false information to ALSDE, failure to return the ALSDE advance payments which exceeded reimbursement, program violations, which include non-compliance with meal service time restrictions, and failure to maintain adequate records. Administrative review common findings continue. Failure to adjust meal preparation on your online application. Simultaneous service of more than one meal to any child. Service of meals that do not meet program requirements. Off-site consumption. Violation of health and safety. Lack of expenditure and documentation. Any other violation program requirements of USDA's 7 CFR 225, which is the Summer Food Service Program. And you can also see the administrative review preparation handout. Administrative review appeal process. So let's say you've had administrative review and you would like to appeal your findings. During the appeal these are the things that can occur. During an appeal of a termination and disqualification, sponsors may continue to operate the program and maintain adequate documentation during the appeal process, and program payments will continue. There are two possible outcomes of appeal. Sponsor appeal is granted and retroactive reimbursements for meals and review is closed, or sponsor appeal not granted, reimbursement will not be paid and the review will be closed. To recap administrative review. Administrative review report that indicates deficiencies in a sponsor or a site operation requires corrective action and a corrective action plan to ALSDE. Failure to submit a corrective action plan to correct deficiencies could result in termination. Corrective action plan will include who, what, when, and where. All findings are appealable and appeal rights are presented on the day of the review. See Appeal Rights handout. This will conclude my presentation.